In this video, we're going to be discussing the easiest way to set up an online store using WordPress. For the purpose of this video, we're going to be using Hostinger. And one of the main objectives of this video is to show you how to set up a website quickly so that you can be up and running in minutes. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using the business plan. So this allows us to host up to 100 websites and have 200 gigabytes of storage space, and includes a free domain name and lots of other useful, interesting things like SSL, email, add your domain name, daily backups. There's lots of things included here, but some of the main things I'm interested in is around the Hostinger AI tools. So they have this Hostinger AI website builder now. They have a drag and drop editor, lots of templates and marketing integrations that you can make use of. So there are lots of really nice things built into this plan that you can take advantage of. And if you're watching this video when it has just been released, there is currently a Black Friday promotion happening. So you'll get really large discounts on these longer term plans. So I've just added this to the cart right now. You can see here this is for 48 months, which is 4 years. And like the discount here is like 80% that I'm seeing right now. But you can get an additional discount on top of that using my own personal code, David B. And I've included a link to that in the video description below. So once you've done this and checked out, then we will complete the process and we will jump over to the dashboard. So now we're on the dashboard, we're signed into our account, and I'm going to click on this Add Website and select WordPress. So now we get prompted to enter a username and password. So we'll add our email and our password. This will be used when we're signing into WordPress. And then we want to select the online store option. And now we get the option to choose between templates. So this is all of the different e-commerce templates that are instantly available to us. And the nice thing, as you will see in a few moments, is that all of the content within these templates is already pre-populated. So we don't actually need to go and add this content ourselves. You can preview each of these templates, and I actually really like this first one, so I'm going to use this one in this video. You can see that the layout is quite clean. It works across different types of devices like tablet, mobile, etc. And you can scroll up and down and test all of the different sections of this page. But I think it looks quite nice. There's a good color palette, and everything's kind of set up for us in advance. So let's go ahead with this template and continue to the next section. So now we're getting prompted to choose plugins for our website, and in this case I'm just going to skip most of these, but you can select whichever ones make sense for you. There's different marketing plugins here, there's contact forms, things like that, different insights, whichever ones make sense for you, but each of these are tailored towards an e-commerce store, so there's no harm in using all of these plugins that are suggested. The next step then is to pick where you want this website to be hosted. So in general, it just makes sense to have your website hosted on a server that is very close to your customer in terms of location. So if your customers are based in Europe, then you should have your web server based in Europe. It just makes more sense because your website will load faster. It's just a better experience for your customers. But it's not something that you should really overthink. Just select what makes the most sense and continue forward. So now we're at the stage where it's setting up the website for us. And this will take just maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. It's just preparing everything in the background. So now once it has completed loading, it will take us to the WordPress dashboard. So we're already signed into our admin area of the WordPress dashboard. And what I'm going to do first is just open up the website and have a look at it. So we can just have a look at the template that we selected. And the thing that really stands out to me here is, and I think I've said this earlier in the video, is that we have all of this pre-populated content. So it just makes it much easier. Normally in WordPress, when you pick a theme, it looks nothing like the actual theme that you have selected. So that is one thing I really like about Hostinger doing these themes. Is pre-populated. It just makes it really easy to change the content rather than starting from scratch and trying to figure out how to recreate the demo that you saw that theme used before. So this is quite nice. So next step then, I'm just going to open up the home page. So under pages, and we're going to select home, and I'm going to change some of this information that is ready here for us. you can see that the content is already existing on this page. So I'm just going to tweak it around, play with it, and just have a look at how easy it is to just set up our own homepage. So this is the header of the homepage. This is like what you see when you just land on the page for the first time. So once you've finished making your changes, click the Save button at the top right of the page, and then we can go back to our store and refresh. And you can see that the text has changed. So our heading on that page is now been completely changed. So let's scroll down, and you'll notice that directly underneath we have all these products. So each of these products is being pulled in from our website. But if you go into this homepage, you will see that you've got this little widget here, this shortcode. We can easily change this. So I want to just change this to be 3 products just to show you how easy that is. You can also change the categories or how it's like being sorted and things like that. So just refresh that. Now we've got 3 products on our homepage. So like it was like really easy. We can also change the text that's directly above it if you want this maybe to be like new products or featured products or something. We just change this heading text. So looking at this section underneath, you can see that there is a background image. So we click on this and go to the style on the right, the style section. You can change this image entirely if you want, or you can just even reposition it. So in this case, I'm just going to change the coordinates, the X position and the Y position, just to show you how that works. So this will just move the image in the background. You can also scale it, change the attachment type and different things. So you can play around with this and change the styling of it if you don't want it just to be the default that has been chosen for you. So next, let's look at the customer testimonials. We have these dummy templates of these customer reviews here. So you can change the text, or you can also change the name of the person who's leaving the review. So I'm just going to rename that. You can also click on the image. I think you can change the image on the right side here. You can change the size. You can also change the image entirely. You can scale the width and height and different things. So it's very customizable without having to write any code at all. So this is all just available within the browser to just modify and change as you wish. So let's change that back to a circular image. And you can even change the icons at the top, which is very nice. If you want to pick a different icon. So maybe you want to have like a chat icon here or a comment icon. So you can just change that by searching within the icon library. And all of this is already installed for us, so we don't actually have to add anything new here. So now let's save our changes, and we'll see how this looks in the live website. So let's switch back over to the other tab. So if we reload this now, you'll see that the title has changed above the products, and we have changed the icon and the name underneath the customer review. We also have some interesting sections at the bottom of this page, so let's have a look and see if we can edit those too. So you'll notice here that there's an icon on the left, and then there's a title and a description underneath. So this is quite an unusual layout in the sense that, it's quite, to do this normally requires a little bit of programming or styling to get it right. But within the template, this can all be modified quite easily. We can change the background colors behind the logos, for example. So quite easily we can just do this within WordPress itself. And I'm just going to change these all to black, and we can also change the font of the titles, for example. And we can change the icons too. So maybe you could put like a star or a heart, possibly even, just to make this a little bit more relatable to the content. So next, let's look at how we can change the style of this heading. So we've got the default heading here. It's an H5 tag. You can change this to like an H4 or a different heading type if you wanted to. But we also have the option to add a separator. So this separator will like divide up the content here between maybe like the heading and the paragraph text, or you can even move it to like the bottom or the top of this block. You can also change the styling of that divider line, whether it's going to be dashed, dotted, solid, etc. So there's a lot of things you can customize here, which is quite nice. I think in this case I'm going to have a solid line underneath each of these just to add a little bit of styling. So I'm going to modify each of these, and we can change the font to match across each of them too. So if you're wanting to change the font or the typeface, it's under the style section. So once you click on it, go to style, and then it's under this typography section. So we have a bunch of different fonts that we can choose from here, and you can see them live when you change this. So you can preview it. So it looks quite nice if we change this. So I'm going to change this for each of these 3 sections. So once we have matched all of these 3 sections with the same font and the same divider at the bottom, then we'll go ahead and save this and just see how that looks in the browser. So let's open up the other tab with the website and have another quick check to make sure everything looks okay. So reload the page, and we've got our newest styling here. So you can see that once you change something within WordPress, it's really a what you see is what you get style change. So modifying something within the page is actually what you're going to see when you browse the website. So it's very nice. There's no guessing. It's just very simple. You just change it to look the way that you want it to look. Now let's add one of our own sections within this page. So there's different things that we can include here. Things like maybe a gallery, for example, that allows you to upload your own images of the products on your website. But if you do want to add images, there is a lot of default images included with the theme. So if you pick the right theme, that's really useful actually, because you can just have a lot of these images ready to use. And I imagine that most of these images are probably stock images anyway, so it should probably be okay. So once we've selected all of the images that we want, let's click the Create New Gallery button, and this will automatically boot them into our page. And you can see that there's this hover effect already here. We can add a caption for each of these if you want to. So that's already got that functionality in place to zoom when we hover it. So it does look quite nice so far. I'm going to add a couple of captions just to test how this looks. So let's save our changes and we'll reload the page in the other tab. So just like that, we've got a gallery embedded in our page. We could maybe add a section above it, just like a title or a heading, and maybe add some spacing underneath. That would be nice too. So let's add a heading. So if you hit the backslash, we can choose the content type that we want to add here for this block. So in this case, I want to add a heading, and we'll just call this gallery. And then directly underneath the gallery, I want to include a spacing, maybe like a divider or something like that. So let's enter this. There's a separator here. I think that's about what we're looking for. So once we click on this divider and we go to the right side of the page, we've got the style section. So most of the things you want to do in here is under style. So we can change the height of this separator, and we can change the background color. So I'm just going to make it white so that it doesn't stand out. I just want the space on the page literally between these sections. So let's save this once more and reload our page. And now we've got that extra space, so it looks a little bit more stylish than it did before. So overall, I'm very happy with this. We can do things like add these products to the cart already. So if you click into these products, you can get like a hover effect when you go over the images, and you can change the images for each of these. There's a description, there's an add to cart button. All of this stuff is already in place, which is nice. There's also related products. So we haven't really touched on this product section too much yet in this video, but within WordPress you can add your own products easily. So once we click on the shopping cart, let's have a look at this. So this all looks nice already just by default, so it makes our job of setting this website up much easier. So once you hit the buy button, then you're taken to the checkout, and then you would fill out the billing details to complete the order. Now the only thing to note here is that the payment methods have not been set up yet within our website. So we can do that quite easily by going back into WordPress. So within WordPress we can add our checkout payment types. So we need that before we can allow customers to actually make real payments. So that's all within WooCommerce. So once you go to WooCommerce on the left side of the WordPress, you can fill out the store address, the different payment and shipping methods, and everything that relates to handling the purchase of orders on your store. So all of this stuff is very straightforward. You can just go through each of these tabs and complete it. So that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you found it useful in setting up your own e-commerce website. And if you do want to create your own online store, then make sure to use the link in the video description to get additional discount off the Hostinger Black Friday sale. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.